What's up, guys? This is Will from the Mighty Beards of Gaming, and I just want to say, watch your back. Don't be staring off into your own little daydreaming land of candy canes and unicorns, because someone's going to come back and stab you. Also, don't be afraid to go out of bounds, especially in that little area of Karg, because most of the people on the defending team will watch that side, but they won't watch all the way back around. So if you can slip past them, they won't look back towards their spawn because they think that you can't get back there. Okay, but you can. So now watch this. I grab this LAV and do real bad in it. Do real bad. And then this captain decides to tell me that I'm a noob and that I should never drive an LAV again. And you know what? Maybe I shouldn't, but there's no way that I'm going to get better unless I grab it and drive it. And I'm pretty sure that 90% of the reason that that sucked is that there were 3 dudes down there putting rockets on me all at one time. And I decided to show you guys this gameplay for 2 reasons, and I'm going to explain the second reason later, but the first reason is that we have an absolutely incredible first 2 sets of MCOMs. As you can see here, I'm using an I'm using an AK-74M because I like the sound of it. And that may not be the best reason to use a gun, but I really enjoy the way it sounds and the way it feels and the long range of it. And as you guys saw before, I really like the G3A3, and this is a lot like the G3A3, except it doesn't hit as hard. It does have really good distance, and I do get a lot of really good tapfire kills with it. But it's just so good. I just love the way it sounds. So obviously we're playing Rush on Sane Crossing, and my team actually did something really awesome right here. Ooh, I got that nade kill. Love it. My team did something great here, which, you know, you have to do when you're playing Sane, is push B real fast. You have to push B real fast, otherwise they're going to flood this little back alley quad area, and they're going to be able to put up the best defense that you can put up in any Rush map. It's so hard to infiltrate defenses once they've been properly set up. You know, you get a couple of LMGs watching the entryways, you get a couple of medics doing revives, and then you're basically invincible. You can't break that defense. It's too intense. There's nothing but bullets coming at you through those hallways, and there's just no way to get in there. Unless you got some scrub that decided to mortar and take 3 mortars to kill 1 person. It just takes too long to take their defenses down. Unless you really rush them and get really lucky with your spray and pray LMG action. So as you can see here, we've already taken out both A and B, and we're going to do something right here which is really great, and you really have to do when Sane, because there's just so many nooks and crannies. You have to look for stragglers. You have to look inside all these little buildings, all these little shops, quote unquote, whatever they are. They're just empty rundown buildings, but there's a lot of little areas where you can hide, especially in this little quad area where I'm headed right here. There's so many little bushes, and you can just lay down in a bush and then no one will see you, and then all of a sudden you can back rage on an entire team that have already pushed out. It's a real good hiding spot if you're defending, but it's really bad if someone's hiding in there and you don't think to check in there when you're attacking, because you will get rocked. A dude will come from out of there and just rock you. So this is the last little shop slash mailbox area that I decided to check before I decide that A is good to go. A is where I want to go. So I want to mention something real quick about the AK-74M, and see, I'm crouched right now, and look at the crosshair. Look how wide the bloom is on it. Its hipfire is real terrible. But watch that. You just put so many rounds on point when you're ADS and you're burst firing. Yeah, you can have, as long as you learn how to control the recoil. This gun is pretty beast, and I mean, you can say that about most guns in this game, and these guys are just kind of hanging out. They wish they could get me, but they keep getting me down to like 30%, and then I just duck down, recharge, pop up, and shoot them again, and I actually wind up getting both of these guys. But yeah, I wanted to mention, you see there that the AK-74M, when you're ADS, aim down sight, is really good, as long as you know what you're doing with it. And you can if you can put the first couple rounds in the person's chest, and let it drift a little bit up into the head, you'll get a headshot. But if you're good enough and can control the recoil enough, and you start at the head and you can keep it on the head, and I just get rocked by an A94. It's such a good gun. But yeah, if you can keep that crosshair on point when you're aimed down sight with the AK-74M, you'll get crazy headshots. I get so many in this round alone. And this ends my run of not actually dying. I go out and I try to hero that guy up, but I did not think that there'd be a guy right there, and that's what I was talking about earlier. There was a guy camped out back there, and he just waited there for us to cross. You know, that's why you have to check all of the little nooks and crannies there. Otherwise, you're gonna get back rage like that, and it's gonna be brutal. So when I was dead, we obviously took out A, But now I'm on A bridge, and I just want to make sure that I clear the whole area. There's A burning right there, and watch that. Look at another headshot. All I could see was like 2 inches of the top of his head, and with this AK-74M, it's basically a headshot magnet, man. And I know this person over there because the LAV is wasting so many rounds, so I do this sweet little ninja move around, get another headshot. Now watch this. I know that the hip fire is real bad with this AK-74M, and I know there's a guy around the corner, so I basically just touch my barrel to him. If you know the hip fire is bad, just run up to him and just touch the barrel against him, because there's no way they can defend against that. Not only can they not defend against it, but it's going to be real confusing. It's kind of hard to spin around that quickly when a person is that close to you. Like, if you can get to their side, they have to do a pretty big mouse move just to get onto you. And I try to be ninja again and do a swipe there, but my Call of Duty Commando perk apparently was turned off, and I didn't lunge at that guy, and his buddy hiding in one of the glass doors back there gets me. So I'm fast-forwarding right here because there's a lot of me just checking areas, just like I said you need to do. But I'm going to stop here in a second because I was pretty impressed with myself with this little move right here. So they see me right here, and they take some shots, and they get one more on me, and I'm down to 28%. But I just hang out here, and I don't know why they didn't think to just keep looking at me, but I was so ninja. Watch this, I'm just totally swimming, bro. I'm like Ryan Lochte. I'm gonna go plant that bomb, Ryan Lochte style, even though that dude is a fool. So I come up this ladder right here, and unfortunately I am using like one of the loudest guns in the game. It makes so much noise when you fire me. It doesn't really matter as long as you don't have a silencer on a weapon. It still puts you on the minimap. But I just feel like this gun is so loud. There's so much metal clanging together, and I do some real bad shooting on this guy, but I do clip him. Looks like I got him in the big toe with that last bullet, and I roll up here, still being super ninja, and I'm confused as to what my teammate is doing, my squad mate right there. He zooms past me real fast, and then I see his little icon on my screen just fly, and I thought he like flew away like Superman, but instead he went upstairs. And I don't know why he didn't try to come plant, but whatever, he gave me the plant. And I try to defend it from right here, and I do, and I found that, I mean, I don't play a lot of Sane Rush because it's kind of hard sometimes to find a server that's running this, and everything's always 24/7 TDM, no shark canals. Every server on Earth is that. So I got lucky when I found this, but the few times that I have played Sane Rush, I have found that being on this end of the boat in that little cubby area between the front porch, whatever you want to call it, the bow, and the main area, and I just get absolutely obliterated by an ass valve. That's the best place I've found to hide when you're trying to defend B. And see, this is why I thought this round was so good. There's another AK-74M or AK-74M headshot. My squad up until this point spent a lot of the time spawning on each other and waiting to let squad mates spawn. And listen, need some ammo? There it is. Run away from it. Good thinking, bro. But yeah, my squad has been really good up until right about now at spawning on each other, and I guess my squad kind of sticks together, but we're coming up here on the second reason I wanted to show you this gameplay, and I'll get to that in a minute, but we're still working on the first one where we get an absolutely beast mode first couple of runs, and watch this guy, and clipped. Get like one bullet in that guy's shin right as he whirls around the corner, and I'm sure he was like at home in his mom's basement yelling, "I was totally around the corner! How did you see me? I was totally around the corner!" That's called client-side hit detection, brah. You gotta understand, you gotta be way behind that before I don't see you. So what I said earlier about checking every nook and cranny, every window, every shop, every doorway, every hut, every van, and I don't check in the back of that van, but I should have. That applies to pretty much this entire map. There's so many places for baddies to just hang out, and then just let you run by if they're smart, and they can rack up a bunch of kills by shooting your whole team in the back. So after checking my area, we decided to go up towards A, and I absolutely love the A and B flags on, or A and B MCOMs rather, on this thing. And that guy thought he was going to be a bunny hop professional and got rocked because you can't bunny hop in this game. It affects your aim too horribly. But I really enjoy this area. This set of MCOMs. I mean, I really enjoy this set of MCOMs because there's so many ways to get up to them, and this side is possibly my favorite. There's always a lot of guys hanging out in the road by B and hanging out in that middle jungle area, that stairway up towards A. And hello, dude, just because you have a silencer on your M1911 doesn't mean I can't see you when you're shooting. So we roll around, and here's us still. We're still moving really tactically, and I outrun this guy, and I just barely, by the skin of my teeth, get that thing armed. But unfortunately, the rest of my squad also goes down. And at this point is where the second reason I want to show you this gameplay comes into play, because everything falls apart. And you would think that after, you know, going 11-0 off the bat and having 2 really amazing, good teamwork first sets of MCOMs, that we would absolutely just roll this team. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We roll up on these guys, and we keep trying to push. And spoiler alert, if you haven't figured it out already, we don't quite get it. We don't even get past this set of MCOMs. And like I've mentioned before, I like showing you guys footage of me not doing amazing. And I mean, I don't feel like I did terribly or that my team did terribly, but obviously there's some things that we could have improved upon because we don't wind up taking these MCOMs. And if you're doing well and the other team isn't doing weller than you, which I know isn't proper grammar, so calm down, all you guys are going to be like, it's gooder. That's not correct either. But as long as your team is working as a cohesive group, like we have been, at least my squad has been, you can take MCOMs no matter how good the other team is. Unless, of course, they're down to like 1 MCOM and they've got all 16 of their team members on 1 final MCOM and they're all hunkered down. And I thought for sure that I'd be able to come up here and clear enough bad guys off of the MCOM to help and to get my squad mates to come up. But unfortunately, they both go down there. As you can see, their little lightning bolt Harry Potter marks over them saying that I can go revive them. But I'm up here and it's not great. But I do wind up getting a few kills and clearing off the MCOM a few times, but I really honestly feel like it wasn't my team that was doing bad. It was more that when we got to this set of MCOMs, half of my team was like, hey man, I'm going to go make dinner. I'm going to go make a grilled cheese sandwich, and I'll be back in about 15 minutes just to, you know, accumulate this loss. So I can't really blame my team for losing this game or myself. I feel like really everyone that was still in game did a pretty good job of trying to outsmart the enemy. There was just so many more of them, it felt like. Every time I looked at my mini-map, there was only my 4 squad mates, including myself, and 2 or 3 other blueberries trying to push up. And that's just not enough people to push through an enemy defense. And they clearly, at this point, have it together. They've made a concerted effort to put up a decent defense and get some guns on these MCOMs and get some bullets going through the main entryways that we could have used to get up there. And they're just messing us up. They're bending us over barrels and putting things in us that we don't want to have put into us. If I were Paul Ryan, I would say that this is legitimate rape. This isn't just rape. This is forcible, legitimate rape. Now, I'm not very political, but I should clarify that I don't like Paul Ryan. I think he is a fool. So moving on, we are still trying to push up on this stairwell towards A, up into where C would be if this were a conquest match. And it's just not going very well for us. You can see my squad member, he didn't get shot right there, so I'm thinking, hey, there's no one watching this doorway anymore. Let's try to move up and try to clear off this MCOM in that lower MCOM area, that little platform down there. And I see that little pile of guys on there, and I do some bad shooting right there, and I do some better shooting right there. But there's so many guys right there. Watch this. And I get fully rocked by a guy that I didn't see over there. There were so many little party hats floating around that I couldn't decide who to shoot at. And they all just took me down. It just became kind of a cluster. Now, watch this. You can do this. Do not be afraid of going out of bounds. Like I said earlier on card, you can go around back and really sneak attack them. And I kind of figured that everyone on the enemy team was on A, so I decided to go around towards B. But watch this scrubbery right here. There's one dude left over that put 1 set of C4 on the MCOM, and he just sat around until he heard beeping. He just sitting there by that wall. Oh man, I'm so pro. I got my ear against this red solo cup that's pressed against the wall. I can hear through it so well. I hear all the buttons being pushed. I hear you trying to set that MCOM, and I got you. And now watch this hip fire. See, just go up and touch the tip of the barrel to him when you're hip firing, and then you'll be good to go. You'll get that kill. And I really did terrible right there. I was reloading. I had my defibs out. That was really bad move. And obviously, you can hear the little... You can hear that music playing. You know that this game is over. And here comes one little last-ditch little sense of hope that I had. Right here, we're down to 1 ticket, and boom, it gets planted. I was like, yes, whatever, screw those guys downstairs. I'm going to Superman off this thing. and I'm going to run through this back area towards B, and I'm going to plant, and then, yeah, and then my dreams get shattered, and we absolutely get destroyed there at the end. And the next game was, we obviously switched sides, and they ran us over until the last set of MCOMs, and then we held them. So I'm not really sure what happened. It's just maybe some people switching teams or whatever. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out again for this, which is my third commentary. I'm having a whole lot of fun doing these, and I got to apologize again because this is getting kind of long. It's a little bit longer than I want it to be, but not as long. I'm being able to trim them down. And one more apology for me being kind of out of breath and stuttering. I just got done at the gym, and I really wanted to knock out this commentary before I got into dinner plans. It's a Friday night. You know, I'm not going out. What am I talking about? I'm a loser. But I've got dinner plans, so like, subscribe, and see you back next time. Goodbye.